Hi, this is Peter, Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we making today?
We're making a hot antipasto that you can use for a party or just as a snack or an hors d'oeuvre.
But not for breakfast.
Not for breakfast. I guess unless you like it for breakfast. Okay, so a hot antipasto, we're going to use an 11 by 7 little roasting pan. And we're going to grease that with our Crisco. You need 2 packages of Crescent Rolls, or now they even make it, this is actually a Crescent sheet. So it's going to be easier and you don't have to piece it together.
Right.
And then I use different kind of cold cuts that you prefer. I use, this is, it's called Provolone. It's called a pepper ham some places. It just has a little bit more spice on it with some hot black pepper. Salami, some provolone. I use sweet red peppers. Usually they come in pieces, so I cut it all up. I use marinated artichoke hearts, and I chop those up. You can also put a little bit of mozzarella in it if you choose. You can do marinated mushrooms if you like and just slice them. And again, for the meats, you can just use regular ham. And basically, whatever you would like in an antipasto, you can put in here.
So let's get started.
Okay, I'm just going to lightly grease my pan so that the dough doesn't stick to it.
Now, Ma, what is an antipasto for people who aren't Italian?
It's a pre, not dinner, but a pre something to eat before you're going to eat your main course. So it's usually things that you just want to kind of pick on. It's different kind of Italian meats. It's different kind of marinated vegetables. We put hot peppers when we're making a traditional antipasto. You've probably seen them where you have rolled up meats, you have the roasted peppers, you have tuna fish, you have stuffed hot peppers, and then of course you're having it with some kind of a roll or an Italian bread. One of the things that happens with antipasto is that people enjoy it so much they eat maybe a little bit too much, and then when your main course comes out, you don't feel like eating. Yeah,
that's why you gotta be a real Italian, and you gotta pace yourself. You sit at the dinner table for 7 hours, and you just eat. And you
course
don't,
after course after course.
Yeah. So, actually, you know what? One of these days we'll probably do an antipasto tutorial.
We don't usually eat it very often here. It's for the holiday. I would actually skip it on Thanksgiving, but I have my uncle over, and he really enjoys that more than the turkey. So I usually make one.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that I make it as big as some people make it.
Yeah. So, with these sheets, all right, let's say you're not able to find the sheets. You'll find them in triangle form or whatever.
Yeah.
What you want to do is just kind of like with this, you see right here, you'll just kind of like mush it together and try to get it to be all one thing.
With the triangles, I used to have to layer them and then kind of squish them together.
So this ends up being sort of like a weird casserole kind of thing, but like with all the antipasto flavors in it. So what my mom's gonna do is just kind of make sure to.
This actually, the sheet is actually bigger than I would normally have with the regular Crescent Rolls, and so as you can see, I have a little bit left over. You may actually be able to use a bigger pan.
But we usually use this one, so. Anyways, one thing you're gonna want to do is preheat your oven to 350, because what we're gonna do is kind of like a pie crust. We're gonna kind of like pre-bake this a little bit, because The thing about hot antipasto, if you just put this in and then you put your ingredients in, the
bottom can get a little soggy.
Yeah,
and you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so that's why we're gonna cook it a little bit. So my mom's got 1 egg. We're gonna be egg washing the bottom, right?
Yeah, if you remember egg wash, you just beat up your egg. You can put a little bit of water or a little bit of olive oil in it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing it on top of something, you can even add a little bit of milk.
Mm-hmm.
The egg wash is kind of a barrier. I added about a teaspoon of water, cold water.
Mm-hmm. And now she's just gonna lightly brush the top of the thing, the crescent roll. Now, if you didn't have crescent roll, I don't know if I would suggest.
You could use bread dough if you wanted to.
I don't know if I would suggest that.
It probably would take a little longer to cook.
Right, because the crescent rolls are kind of.
And the crescent, yeah, they're kind of flaky, so it kind of gives you that buttery flavor to it.
Right.
So we're going to put this in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, just
to get it to start to cook underneath, and then we'll come back and we'll layer. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of risen up. One of the things I just wanted to show you was one of the peppers.
Yeah, what it looks like.
So see, it's a whole pepper roasted.
Yeah.
And I just took a couple out and
she just cut them up.
And
the same thing with the artichokes. They're kind of like together, and my mom just kind of like pulled them apart. Similar to like pulled pork or something. So.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to layer.
Right.
So this is salami, and you can, as I said before, you can use anything that you like. If you don't like salami, you can use pepperoni. You can use whatever. Gabagool is a ham that's you can buy either hot
mortadella
or sweet.
You can use mortadella, any kind of cured meat. So it's similar to like a lasagna. You put in your meat, then your cheese, then you're gonna add the other things like the artichoke hearts and all that good stuff. And how many layers do you usually put? Do you put multiple layers? Or?
I do. So
now
I'm gonna just space these apart a little bit.
Yeah, it don't really matter how you do it.
Just to get a taste when you're cutting it. And then this is gonna cook once we put the top layer on, about 30 to 40 minutes, because you're gonna want the top of it to get nice and cooked.
And everything, congealing pretty nicely. You want some congeal. Well, yeah, you can use cheese. You remember you got mozzarella over here too. You can use any kind of cheese. Hell, I guess you could use. I mean, if you want to make your own version, like a white trash version, you can use American cheese, cheddar. You can use bologna. You get a good ham, like a honey baked ham kind of thing, or something like that. Put some turkey in there. Put the condiments you like. You can make a lot of different things this way. It's kind of cool. So we're just gonna continue to layer, and we'll be back with when we gotta put the top layer of the crescent roll on. Before we do that,
I'm putting a little.
Let's put a little mozzarella. And as you can see, we've got a big bag of mozzarella because we
made lasagna.
We made lasagna, and this is the only time in the year where we get lasagna. So you gotta savor that. So okay, she just poured it on, and like I said, we'll be back when we're ready to put the top layer on, so you can see what we're gonna do.
Okay, so we have it all layered up.
Yeah.
And now I open my second crescent roll for the top. Squish it down in here because you want it to kind of, get together.
Yeah. Almost make like a seal, crimping it almost. Now, one thing my mom is gonna do Again, you should still have your oven on at 350 degrees. But one thing my mom is going to do is she's going to actually cut a couple of air pockets. A couple of slits.
To let the steam out.
Right.
That's what you do also when you're making stuffed breads.
Right.
You put a couple of holes on the top so that
lets the steam from inside of the stuff that's cooking out so that it doesn't turn into like a giant bubble and explode. So now we're just egg washing the top. And one thing we're going to show you is if you have excess crescent roll stuff, what you can do with said crescent rolls. Hell, we could probably do a whole nother video just on what you could do with crescent rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, we might even do that.
Crescent rolls are very versatile.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to cut the holes in, right?
Mm-hmm. And all we're doing is like that, just to make a...
And so we got to put it in, and how long does it stay in?
About 35 to 40 minutes until it's all golden brown.
Alright, nice.
Okay, so here we are. We got it out of the oven. See how nice and golden brown it is?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to cut into it.
Now, we did let it cool considerably.
But I let it cool about 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, I hope it will come out
Yeah.
easy.
That's why you got to throw the Crisco down.
And then I make it in squares.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like pie or cake or whatever. The first piece is always the hardest to come out.
You can see the mozzarella there.
And look at that. Look at how delicious that looks.
It's still piping hot.
Yeah. So now we plated it and now we're gonna eat it. Alright, so here is our hot antipasto. As you can see, the wonderful layers of cheese and meats and other red peppers and artichoke hearts. So take a taste, Ma, because I don't eat this. What do you think?
Very good as usual.
Yeah. So what you get all those melds of flavors and the nice buttery crust of the what the hell is it again?
Crescent roll.
The crescent roll. I was about to say puff pastry. Anyway, so yeah, this is a great idea for a Super Bowl party or even just anything like my mom was saying earlier. So
just an hors d'oeuvre, you know.
So this has been Pete or Kenshin1913 along with
Mom.
And this has been another Cooking with Kenshin1913.
Enjoy and happy eating.